Good morning, my little dumpster fire babies. How is everyone doing this morning? I hope that your day is off to a wonderful, fantastic start. If this is your first time here, hi, my name is Carrington. I would love for you to join this dumpster fire family. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Click the little bell so you can be notified of all my future uploads. If this is not your first time here, hi, welcome back. How's the family? If you guys enjoy this video, definitely give this video a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to go over and follow me over on Instagram. Would love to see you guys over there. And let's go ahead and let's dive on into today's video, which is again, testing out, ooh, something was sticky. Testing out more new makeup. We have again tons of new stuff to go ahead and test out. So let's dive into on what we're going to be testing out. So first things first is we have from Pat McGrath, we have this little lip trio. It comes with a liner, a gloss, and a lip balm. We then have these two liners. So I have the Theresa's Dead collection. This part 2. This finally got to me. Took forever. Anyway, so we have two little gel eyeliner pots. We have the eyeshadow palette. And then they came with like these little, it looks like they're like two of them might be like blushes. And then there's one that looks more like a highlighter. We have the LYS holiday box. We get 3 mini exclusive cream blushes in one container, one package. We have those to try out. And then last and finally is I got this as a sample. It's the CC Nude Glow. I have tried the regular CC cream and I really like it. I actually used up a whole bottle. So I kind of want to see how well I'm going to like the Nude Glow, especially since my skin is so dry. So if you guys are excited to see what kind of look I'm going to create, what I think of all these products, what the price points are, as well as my final thoughts at the end where I rank everything from my least to my most favorite, then definitely keep on watching. We're going to go ahead and we're just going to start off with swatches of everything. So first off, we have the Theresa is Dead Lethal number 2 palette. So we have this really pretty gray shimmer. This is called TV Dinner. It's like a gray and it has like some silver sparkles in it. Next up is Area 52. This is a light, nice, cool brown. We then have Space Duster. This is kind of like a good solid like concrete gray. Next row is Pew Pew. And this is like a really nice light bubblegum purple. Then we have our next shade. This is called Hive Mind. This is a light orange, pink, and red type of shade because in the pan, it definitely looks a lot more red. But in the swatch, a lot more of the like orange and pink really show through. Next up is going to be Plutonian. This is, again, that's like a really like pretty deep plum type shade. Then we have Space Trash. This is our last shimmer. And this is a like very like sky blue with some like lavender type shifts in it. We then have Venus Envy. This is just like a very basic type of green, almost like a lime green. And then last is going to be Specimen 3, which is like a really dark forest green. We're then going to move on into the face powders. So there's these two right here that are shimmery, but they're also darker. So I'm not sure if this is like intentionally supposed to be for like darker skin tones for highlighters or if they're supposed to be like sheeny blushes. But the first one right here is going to be Plan 9. This is like a really pretty bubblegum pink, a very light subdued bubblegum pink. This right here is going to be Eviscerate. This is like a greenish shift highlight. Then we have Cyrostasis, and this is like a very cute like lavender purple. Then we're going to move on to the 3 LYS blushes that came in that pack. The first one we have is Higher Standard. So this is like a very cute like mauve type of tone. This one's in Power. This one is Unforgettable. Which is like a little bit of a deeper like punch. And then you have this one right here, which is like a light, softer pink. And this one is going to be in the shade Grateful. So then moving on, that's in the shade Grateful. So then moving on to Theresa's Dead, we have this like burgundy, reddish burgundy. I don't know if they, no, I guess it'd be a pretty good burgundy. Cream liner, and that's in Harvested. And then we have one in green that's called Galactic Goo. So all of these right here are the products for the Pat McGrath lip trio. So right here you have the liner, you have the lip balm, and then you have the lip gloss. And these are all in the shade Nude Venus. And then of course, I'm not going to swatch this because it only gives you like so much, and I want to make sure that my face is going to be able to actually be covered. So let's go ahead and let's start diving on into our look on the face. Like, even though there's a lot of kick up in the pan, there's really not a lot of kick up, or I mean fallout on the face. So that's at least a positive. For the next shade to go into, I'm going to go into this one right here called Space Duster. And again, a little bit of kick up. I feel like this one though really coated the brush. Yep, sure did. So just going to start this on like the outer portion. Just kind of blending it out, and then buff it farther into the crease. See, like this was so pigmented compared to the other one. But they are really blending nicely together. They're not becoming muddy. It's not like they're becoming just like one color. You know, this other shade really has some pigment, so I feel like really brings that depth in that maybe like a transition shade, you know, maybe didn't bring quite as much of. The issue I'm having is what I want the outer corner shade to be. I'm trying to debate between these two, like this purple or this green. Let's go green. Let's go green. So this is Specimen 3. So a little bit of kick up. We're just going to start slowly tapping that. So I will say for these other shades, that wasn't like that Area 52 shade, are really pigmented, and they just go on just like so easily, so nicely. Again though, all of the shades do have fallout or kick up in the pan, and I am experiencing just like a tad bit. It's kind of like whenever you swipe it, it not necessarily like falls, but like it just kind of collects in like the inner corner part, even if you don't go anywhere near it. So that's a really easy fix. You can just use a makeup wipe and clean it up. But at least it's not like falling on your face to like, yeah, if you did your eyes last, or, you know, already have your base down. It's not like ruining it or anything. So now we have like 3 shimmers. So I think this is a good option. Probably not. Let's try the blue. Let's try the blue. See what we think. If not, you know, we can always go over it with something else. Actually, do I really like that? I think I do. As a matter of fact. We are now ready to move on into the foundation, which is going to be this CC, It Cosmetics CC Nude Glow Serum, Skin Tint, medium coverage. 4 is my question. So I'm just going to take this on my sponge and just start pressing this in. So if you guys are familiar with the regular CC cream and kind of how it has like a sunscreen but tea tree oil type of scent, it's the same in this as well. So just wanted to get that out there. Might be slightly a little bit more yellow, so I'm just gonna take the rest of this in the package and literally just start bringing it down my neck. I think it's just because it's like a little bit too warm. is my issue. So I think this really did a good job of sinking into the skin, and this provides a very, very, very heavy glow to the skin. So if you would like something that has like a little bit of a glow, but it's not where your skin is looking like glass, you're not going to like this. I would probably go with the regular CC cream. If you are like, yeah, I can't do anything glowy, they have a matte version as well. I would probably recommend that if you barely want any glow. But if you are not wanting something like this is not going to be good for you, and I would recommend checking out the other two. For cream blushes, again, we kind of have these like triple, like LYS options. I think this one's going to be a little bit too deep. I think this is going to be a little bit too bubblegummy. I think this is going to be a good option. And this is in the shade Grateful. Now do remember that these are just like kind of exclusive shades to LYS. They have other shades, but this is more of their limited edition holiday shade. So I just like picked a little bit up on my sponge. I stippled out a good portion of it on the back of my hand, as you can see, so I can work with it off of there, and just to kind of help dim it down just a little bit if need be. I think this is really pretty. So my skin thus far is just looking really glowy, really healthy all the way around. So I'm quite impressed with that. Again, these LYS blushes, this is not my first time trying them. They are just really nice and pigmented. They're creamy. They blend out super well, and they really just sink right into whatever base that you have. It just sinks right into your skin. And honestly, LYS is such an affordable brand at Sephora. Actually, just an affordable brand like in general. I love so many of their products. They're usually $20 and under. These right here, just to get 3 of these mini blushes, and these are good sized blushes. You get 4 grams of product in each of these. That's 12 grams, and it's $20 for all 3 of these. And if you got it through the VIB sale, then it was like $16 for all of these, whereas one of their larger sizes is about $16 for just one. So the fact is, like, I'm not going to be able to go through a whole entire cream blush, the full size ones. I don't even know if I'd be able to go through a whole entire mini blush. So for me, I'm really appreciative of getting like more mini options for a cheaper price than trying to buy 3 full size and worry about trying to make good use in it before it like goes bad. So I'm really, really appreciative of these. And again, LYS as a whole, no matter what you buy, full size, mini size, whatever, are going to be $20 and less. I think the foundation might be $22, but that is it. Now let's just go ahead and move right on to the lower lash line. So we're going to start with Area 52 again, just because I do want to copy what we had done on top on the bottom. So we're just going to take a little bit of that Area 51, and we are just going to smoke that down low on our lower lash line. Again, I'm not sure we're going to have to build this one up. Actually, in person, it actually is showing up. And so we then went in with Space Duster just a little bit closer and Specimen 3, and just focus that on the outer portion. Now here's where like the issue therein lies, is I don't really care for any of the other shimmers to be my inner corner. So I'm actually going to take the exact palette that I used to bronze, the Charlotte Tilbury Mini Bronze and Glow, and I'm going to take that highlighter shade, and I'm going to just work that into my inner corner. So now I want to go ahead and go in with one of these into my lower lash line. I think I'll do Harvest, which is like this more burgundy one. We just have like colors everywhere. Okay, that's just like the whole point of this, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how well it's gonna look, but you only need to like tab just like a very minimal amount of this. I learned that while trying to swatch them. A little tiny bit, a very little tiny bit goes a long way. So just be mindful of that. So I'm gonna start by trying to put that into my waterline. I was kind of hoping it was going to be slightly a little bit darker, so that's fine. Okay, it's fine, it's fine. So now we're gonna move on into this palette. So we have these two here that I think are almost like shimmery type blushes, and then we have this right here, which is definitely a little bit more highlight-ish. So for cheeks, I think I want to go in with this. I think it's just going to go a little bit better with the looks that we have. So I'm just going to pick it up on a little brush, and then I'm just going to start stamping that in towards the back of my cheeks. Okay. That looks pretty thus far. But it does, again, the products have just quite a bit of kick up, which I know some people really care about that. I personally don't, you know, because sometimes, not all the time, I find that ones that really have like a lot of like, you know, kick up in the pan sometimes have like some of the creamiest and smoothest formulas. So, you know, I'm not 100% like against that. And it does provide a glow, which I figured it did, because whenever I swatched it, it seemed really glowy. So that's where I was trying to figure out, like, okay, so is this a blush or like a sheeny blush, or is this like a highlighter for like deeper skin tones? But I mean, maybe you could do either or. Depending on your skin tone type, but like for me, like it worked really well as a blush. So then we're gonna go on into that highlighting shade, and this really is crumbly. So just like when you go in with it, just oh, okay, what just happened here? Just like be very careful, because it can get really crumbly, and I don't want it to like crumble all over your stuff. Just go in really, really lightly, because see, just a little bit is enough to have you be the next traffic light. Like everybody's gonna see you and everybody's gonna stop because they're like, oh, we gotta come to a complete stop. The traffic signal here, you know? Now it's time to do lips. So again, we have that Pat McGrath collection. I'm gonna start with aligning my lips. So I've lined and filled in my lips. One thing about the Pat McGrath lip liner formula is that it's kind of sticky, but this stuff stays. Her lip liners will stay. So then we have this little like balm. It doesn't have tons of pigment, but I'm gonna go ahead, go over everything, adds a little bit more of a shine. And then last is going to be the gloss. So we just have like a really nice light pinky type of lip. It's a little bit lighter than what like I normally like going for, truthfully. I feel like it looks really washed out on camera. In person, it actually looks really good. So here is the completed and final look, testing out some more new makeup. So what do you guys think of the look? Are there any products that you're exceptionally like, wow, that looked really good, that applied really well? Anything like that? Leave that down below. What do you guys think of the overall look? So let's go ahead, let's dive on into my final thoughts, ranking the products from my least favorite to my most favorite. Just a disclaimer, I actually really liked all of these products, so it's just like came down to just how it had to be ranked. So in last place is going to be this Nude Glow. I loved it for how glowy it made my skin, because I love really, really glowy skin. It really sank in. It really had some of those skincare ingredients. Like, it doesn't look bad at all. I think the reason it's probably ranked in last place is because although I do like that shine, I had to go over it with quite a few layers of setting powder because it just kept being so sticky and greasy. And I think I ended up doing like 3 or 4 layers of my setting powder, with the setting powder being my Maybelline Fit Me. This is one of my all-time favorite powders. I never have issues with that. But for whatever the reason was today, I just could not get this to set down. And I was so nervous because if something is just like that sticky, I don't know, it's the same for everybody, but it just feels like when I go over it with like my additional like bronzers, blushes, that it just really just like pills up. So, it's either like layer a ton of powder on it, just do a cream look, and set it lightly, or have it potentially pill up if you go with others. So those are kind of like the only options, but I think it's like so beautiful how it sank into the skin and the glow that it gives. It was really beautiful. Next up is going to be this highlighter. I think it's really okay. So number one, it beams, it shines, we're stopping traffic. I love that. I love like the little color of it. I think the issue for me is, I don't know if you can really tell on camera, but it's just very chunky in the glitter. Like it's a very chunky. And again, I don't mind glittery highlighters. I just don't want them to be chunky. The next thing is that you have to be very careful. You have to like tap your brush in, because if you try to swipe it, it'll just get really bunched up and really crumbly. And if I'm already hating the amount by just tapping it in, I could just imagine how much I would hate it. Like hate it if it was even more crumbly and even more glittery than this. But again, it is such a beautiful tone. And again, you can see me from space. We can stop traffic. So I love that. It's just a crumbliness that I don't particularly love. Next up is going to be these like gel pot liners. I will say it's really, staying in the waterline. I don't know, like the way that it looks compared, like it looks much more like dark and burgundy, whereas this looks like very light and burgundy, almost leaning red. And I personally just wanted something really burgundy. I do need to see like how long they stay in the waterline, things like that, for me to make a definitive like opinion on it. But I like it thus far. I like how just like a little tiny bit goes a long way. So if you plan on like using stuff like this every single day, you're gonna have stuff that's gonna last a while. So, or if you have like clients that you like work on, you like cleanse the brush in between, whatever, then you're gonna have tons of those to like last. So I really do, I like them. I just need to form more of an opinion on them. Next up is going to be this Pat McGrath Balm. I think it's, it's nice, it's comfortable. I don't feel it's as comfortable as a gloss. I don't feel it gives as much shine as a gloss. I think it's just something very just like a white, lightweight glow, where it's not like this glowy, but it does provide just like a subtle hint of some glow. So you could wear that without a liner, with a liner, whatever the case may be. I think it's very versatile, but just for me, like, cause I'm sure like a full size of this is like ridiculously expensive. And I don't think it's like an extra special or extra, like, extra great lip balm. So for me, it's just like, I think the price point is what gets me. Next up is going to be the gloss. I really like her gloss formula. It's really pretty. It's so comfortable. Like you don't even really notice that it's on your lips, but when you rub them together, your lips just feel so warm and so hydrated. It's so good. Next up is going to be the blush. I really like how it's like a really nice sheeny blush. There were 2 options that I thought were really pretty, went really well. It didn't overly emphasize, my texture. There is a little bit of emphasis with the sheeniness, but it wasn't like a super chunky, glittery blush. Like it was just like a very beautiful type blush. I'm kind of excited to play with the purple one next, just because I really thought that was really beautiful as well. Next up is going to be the actual palette. I think this is so fun. It's a fun color story. I can see myself making tons of looks with this palette. It's so fun. I think I would have liked like a really nice light, something for like the inner corner, to like add to it just a little bit. But the shimmers, do you see that shimmer? It's beautiful. It's like a duochrome. You can see like the pink and the blue. I really liked how well all of these performed. They do have a substantial amount of kick up in the pan, like a substantial amount, not like one of those where it's just like, oh, it's kind of, it's kind of a mess. No, it's messy. And again, this shade didn't really show up super well. as comparison to the other ones, but I think the look that I created using like a brown and a gray and a green really just worked so well together. And then that blue and pink shimmer and just like how well that worked together, it's just incredible. And I think if you own the first palette, this will be a great companion to extend your looks and just have like tons of looks to go with just by using those two together. Number 2 is going to be the Pat McGrath lip liner. I love how sticky it is because I love how well it stays. It stays so well. Like this lip liner is going to be on until like I take it off tonight. It's just so good how well these lip liners stay. I know they are kind of expensive, but for it being a pencil, it is so creamy, so pigmented. The lastability for all of them are just so good that even though they have a high price tag, I would continue buying them and I would recommend them. I know. No. So that leaves number 1 being these little LYS blushes. Again, they're pigmented, they are creamy, they blend right on into the skin. It doesn't emphasize texture, it doesn't make your skin look extra cakey or greasy or anything like that. It literally is like this perfect formula that really just sinks into the skin. I love like their packaging because it's always like a triangle type packaging is like what all of their products come in. So I really like that for like doing something like different, having their brand be all about this type of packaging. Really appreciative of that. And then again, these are so affordable. Even like a full size blush is like $16. Their products, I think the foundation's $22, but everything else is literally $20 and under at Sephora. And the thing is where it's like, okay, well, if you're only charging like $16, but like Fenty over here, who has like a much smaller than your minis and blushes, and we're over here like charging $24 for this, like a $16 one probably isn't going to be that great, but it's like, it's so good. So that is it for today's video. I hope that you all enjoyed. If you enjoyed this video, definitely give this video a thumbs up. Comment down below what you think. Are you wanting to pick up any of these products? Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, click the little bell because we will be testing out some more makeup. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye!